Hello, and welcome
Hi.
welcome back to the Blue Room Podcast. I'm Lincoln. This isn't the Blue Room Podcast. What the fuck am I doing? What's going on here?
Crazy pills.
I know, this is the Lincoln A Bomb and Jay show. I
You
know.
have so many shows, you
yeah.
don't even know what show you're on.
And I fuck every single title up every single time we go and do something like this.
And you know what the best part is? You make up the title names.
I know. That's the worst part. I make up the titles. You're right. So, as you can see, there's a lack of Jared for the moment. Guy texted us a little while ago and said, hey, gonna be about 10 minutes late. So, we're gonna do the show for the next 10 minutes without him until he gets here. So, hello.
Why do you think he's late?
Well, yeah, okay, let's speculate on why he's late. That'll be fun. I think he's stuck in Fallujah in a helicopter again.
I think he's at his girlfriend's house, and I think he's hungover because yesterday was Saturday night.
Oh, right, and he went out drinking.
I think I saw a picture last night of a drink.
Yeah.
On a social media platform that we won't name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe he had late morning sex, and then had to shower because it was all over him. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then he is now forgot about the podcast because he had so much sex on the brain.
It's possible. Does my voice still sound weird?
You sound like you breathed in a helium balloon.
Okay, Krista just texted me and said that my voice sounds distorted. And I honestly, dude, I've been having nothing but problems trying to set this up today. What's up?
Nothing but problems.
Yeah.
Nothing but problems.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Is his voice fucked up?
No,
It is fucked up.
Wait, is
Okay,
it?
It sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
Oh my
you.
god.
Sound like a fucking chipmunk.
Okay, this
Can
is.
you do every podcast in a different voice?
I don't. I mean, that's not the point. This is.
Can that be our Can that be our gimmick?
I guess this is brutal. I don't know why it's doing that. The only thing I've done different is that we're simulcasting on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh.
That's the only
So
thing.
it's Facebook's fault.
Yes. Jared, can you tilt your camera down a little bit so we can see your face a little better?
How come I can't see my own face?
There we
What's
go.
going on here? Is that good?
Yeah,
good?
yeah.
There I am.
Yeah, that's good. What's up? Welcome to the show. We were just speculating on why you were late today.
Oh. I can talk to you guys about that off camera. It's
Okay,
fine.
that's
Don't worry about
no,
it.
that's fine.
Do you
That's
want to
something
hear?
I really want to share with the internet people.
Yeah, you guys kind of vamp on that for a second. I'm gonna try to figure out why the fuck my voice is high pitched.
Honestly, I kind of like it better than your normal voice.
Oh fuck.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's so funny. I said that because I saw a picture of a drink last night on a certain social media platform that you posted, that I think that you were at your girlfriend Erin's house, and that you had late morning hungover sex, and that you were so dirty and messy you had to have a shower, and you had sex on the brain. You forgot about the podcast, and that's why I think that you were late.
That was eerily accurate.
Well, if the shoe fits, I guess.
If the shoe fits. No, me and Aaron, we got something real special going on. So, I mean, I don't know if we're ready to make it public yet, but thank you for doing that.
Hey, man, no problem. That's what I'm here for.
You figured it out yet, Lincoln? What's going on?
I have no idea what's going on. Do I still sound?
This is fucking funny. I love it. I love it.
You know what, boys, we're doing it. Okay, because to me, okay, here's the thing. I may sound like a chipmunk to you guys on your end. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure it out after the stream. Don't know what happened. Doesn't matter if it makes it funnier for you guys. Great.
I think it's gonna make it funnier for everybody.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No,
Perfect.
I have No, honestly, I have no idea what's going on. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset about this. But, yeah. Where was I going with that? No, I don't care. We're just gonna do it. Cause
Do it live. We'll do it live.
Whoa,
It's fine.
I was gonna say, okay, so my voice sounds high pitched to you guys, but your voices sound like deep and like.
Yeah.
Kind of-
I need that filter.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I'm deep
Send that
and man. I'm Mr. Adam. I'm super deep and manly. Need the manly feel. That's what you sound like to me,
Yeah,
and I can't
need that.
imagine. I can't imagine what that sounds like, to you in my high pitched state. This episode's probably not gonna go on the fucking iTunes. Oh my god. Fuck it. Let's just do it. What's going on, babies? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
It's been a
It's
minute.
been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
been a-
We talked a little bit of we talk periodically throughout the week and kind of on and off to each other just to see how things are going and like obviously make plans and stuff like that to do this and like for other shit we have in the works. But yeah, like how are things? Talk to me.
Would you like to go first, sir?
Yeah, don't everybody.
Go Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Jar
don't-
Jar
Want
Binks.
everybody to talk at once?
yeah.
Well,
don't-
let's talk so we don't have to listen to more of Lincoln. No, I mean, like obviously, not much is going on as far as like I've just been working from home still, doing my thing. My sleep schedule is fucked, like 100% fucked. So like I'm supposed to start work at 7:30 every day, which means my alarm goes off at 7:30. And I just wander up the stairs and log into my computer, and I just start my day that way. It's weird. Honestly, it's gonna be once we eventually get back to work. It's gonna be a pretty rough adjustment
yeah.
getting back to like the reg because I'm up an hour earlier than that. I got to deal with traffic, and I got like obviously it's super nice not having to commute anymore or for now, but yeah, it's gonna be tough going back. I saw like a meme about it where it's like we're gonna need 2 weeks notice before we go back to work as well, just so we can adjust to the idea. Lose 10 pounds, get a haircut.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, they were saying that
Well-
office life could be like completely different now. Like
Oh yeah.
they're saying social distancing is going to be effective basically until there's a vaccine found, and that means like when it comes to schooling and like office life, that could be just a keep working from home kind of thing, man. Like that may be kind of a
it'll be
new
interesting
way
to
of.
see if- Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it'll be interesting to see if like how many companies will start adopting almost like a split schedule, where it's because I think there's a lot of validity and like a lot of like positive reasons for it. I mean, just the environmental impact aside, I think what's the word I'm thinking of? Employee like satisfaction will probably go like way up when it's not like you're not like pressured to go in every time. You don't have to deal with traffic. Traffic fucking sucks no matter where you go. Like nobody likes it. You know what I mean? Like not a single person in the world likes traffic. So
Yeah,
it's
and now commuting on a bus is going to be a completely different idea, right? Completely different.
exactly. Yeah, so I don't know what my company in particular is going to do. I know they in some of our conference calls they're like, oh, we're looking into it. Well, I mean, I think we'll see. I'm hoping that we do some kind of like split schedule. Like maybe like Monday, Friday, you can work from home. You got to be there Tuesday through Thursday or something. Have that balance. Yeah, I will say having to do it every single day though, it's tough because you do miss the social interaction. I didn't realize like how much I kind of need that every day. Like even if
Yep.
it's just your coworkers, just having people to like to talk to.
Like the water cooler talk, man. Like, hey, did you
Exactly.
watch this or what's up with that? It's all that like little bullshit that kind of makes
Yeah,
up.
what
sense,
is
like,
up with that? What is up with that?
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
honestly, worst segment on SNL. Worst.
You don't like what's up with that? Oh, that's the one with Keenan Thompson, right? Yeah, it's bad.
Worst. He's
It's-
the worst.
It's I wouldn't say that he's the worst.
The worst.
Okay, I mean I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's been there.
Okay.
Honestly, every time he comes on, I'm like, I can't help it but be like, this is gonna be bad. This is just gonna be bad.
Fair enough.
It's rare that it's good. Anyways, moving on.
Fair.
Are you back at work now, Adam?
Yeah.
Are back at work. So it's like, is it like a modified schedule? You're back like full time, or what's?
No, they just did like a third cut, so now we're down to like 125 people, which is pretty crazy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was gonna say 12, which was like, that's accurate. Oh my god, dude, that's less people than when I started there.
It's slower than 2003. Like, it's actually slower than it's probably ever been, other than when we
Fuck.
started up.
That sucks.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. So, but yeah, I'm still working, and
Well, that's a positive.
yeah, are you working from home, Lincoln, or what are you doing?
Yeah. So okay. So I like when this all kind of went down. I worked at home for like the first month. Like took 4 weeks and just fully worked at home. Now I am going into the office periodically because we had to move offices and I've been setting up stuff for us periodically. Like we have the new media room that we the three of us will eventually be in once we are all comfortable with going into the office and stuff like that, and doing little bits here and there, and just kind of because the nice thing about the office is the guys, they live at the building, so they don't really leave the building. They just go down and go up, go down and go up. So it's been nice in that regard. The only really one they have to worry about is me, who's coming in from the outside. But we've been doing all right with the social distancing.
That's good.
I say all right because I got in trouble the other day. I don't know.
Tell me more.
Well,
Like by a police officer?
No. Just by like family and friends. I posted that photo on Instagram 2 days ago of me lifting up my buddy to like, he was trying to put a zap strap on this like pipe in the parking garage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and without even like thinking about it, cause like, I just was like, fuck it, I'll be the ladder, and like lifted him up to put it up there, and Pete got a photo of it, and then I would like just absent-mindedly like put it up on Instagram and like Facebook and all that shit, and then it was like, my wife was like, oh, that's not social distancing, and it was like, oh, fuck. So like even there, small little kind of absent-mindedness, little slip-ups here and there, but.
You only got like it was just Krista. Like other people like on like Instagram were giving you shit for it.
No. I had one friend who, Tierney, who was just like, "That's not social distancing, is it? Or is it? Am I wrong?" And I'm like, I was too embarrassed to say anything. So I'm sorry, Tierney. I didn't reply.
I didn't even think about it when I saw the photo, to be honest. Like,
I didn't think
that's
about
how
it
like
while I was
still
doing it.
adjusting I am. So
Yeah. One big thing, Adam, I want to give a big shout out to Curtis Mitchell, our buddy who's in the hospital right now. He had a blood clot in his kidney, and I think he said part of his kidney died, and so he's going through a real rough time. And he reached out yesterday and said that the episode of A-Bomb and Lincoln Get Food that we put up yesterday was kind of helping him through that and stuff. So I just want to give a big shout out to Curtis Mitchell. Like, thank you for supporting the show, and like, we really want you to pull through, buddy, and like, we hope you're okay real soon. Like, this is a scary time because, fuck, you have to be at the hospital during COVID. Like, that's not fun. I mean, being in the hospital sucks anytime, but like, right now it's not good because you can't have any family around and whatnot. So
yeah, he's a big fan, dude. He always asks me like, when are we gonna put out episodes, and like he always like he said he loves our show and stuff, which is great. He's a good guy, and yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I would have probably forgot just because I'm an idiot, but thank God you remembered, and yeah, shout out to him for sure. I hope that he gets better soon. I can't imagine going through that and not being able to have your family or anyone around. Like,
well, and he's got he's got 2 kids now. He's married with 2 kids, and like none of the family can go and visit him right now. So that's got to be really, really, really hard. So I mean, being able to be like such a small part of like kind of helping him feel normal, like I'm honored to be that.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
So,
it made me feel good when he said that we helped him get through a rough day. So,
totally. I was.
if anything, that's kind of like why we do this. We're not doing this to like get famous or do anything crazy. We're just kind of doing this to have fun, and if we make someone's day better, then great. So
what do you have to say?
If not, fuck you.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Jared?
He's on his phone.
I know he is. I know.
Here.
He's not paying.
I don't know this guy. I was just listening.
It doesn't matter. He's a fan. You say hello to the fan. He's a fan.
I
Say
know.
hello.
I was listening to you guys talk about him. Oh my god.
Okay. So
It sounds like he yelled at by a 7-year-old.
Chipmunk.
fuck.
You are doing a bad job. You are an asshole.
I'm listening to you.
I honestly, I wish that this had been a prank because I would have ended it by now. Like I would have honestly gone back to normal voice by now, and there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna have to like diagnose what the fuck happened after we end the episode. Anyway, moving on. We have a couple things to get through today because Adam has a challenge for us today, which he's gonna talk about in a little bit. But one thing I wanted to mention first, I don't drink. You boys know that. Like I rarely imbibe alcohol. Rarely, Adam. It's very rare. Adam has seen me at some of my drunkest moments, which is fun.
Thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good. Lincoln drunk is like one of the best things you can ever see. He's one of the best people. Have you ever seen him drunk?
No, like since we started hanging out, he's never drank around me. No.
Really? Okay. He's right. He doesn't drink a lot, but when I've seen him at a few like work Christmas parties and like honestly singing karaoke for like 5 hours straight.
Like honestly, it feels like something you should hop right back into, man. You sound great.
Like the happiest guy, dude. You know how some people get down or they get moody or they get bitchy or whatever? He gets amplified happy. Like the happiest guy in the world. It's pretty awesome.
All right.
I gotta remember that I can't do my squeaky voice because it's already squeaky. No, I wanted to. So I might start drinking again because a friend of mine sent me a text yesterday. They Smirnoff, and I know like Smirnoff released these. They're like a variation on the fucking like Rocket Pop popsicles.
Okay.
But as a beverage.
Wow.
Yeah, so
okay.
like the red, white, and blue, but like a
okay.
fucking like canned.
Not together, but like separate, right?
No, like in one can, like it's
In one can.
In
it's
one, yeah,
like it's
yeah, it's
separate like that.
No, I don't think it's separate like that. And the colors on the can are red, white, and blue.
Oh.
But like
you.
it's the flavors of all of so blue raspberry, citrus, and red number
What's
7.
the white one?
Citrus, yeah, citrus is the red, and then red, whatever.
Blue raspberry and cherry.
Cherry, thank you.
Cherry.
So all together in one thing, and they said it tastes exactly like the fucking
Dude,
Rocket
I
Pops.
love that. That would be insane.
So
it's diabetes in an alcohol bottle.
Yeah, it's diabetes in a can, and I really, really want to go try and. I actually thought I might go try and find some tonight before we did this, so that I could have one on camera, so we could see Buzzed Lincoln, but that didn't happen. But I wanted to mention them because I am going to try and find them, and we are going to do that because I really want to try it and do like a live taste test of like, okay, does this taste like basically a Rocket Pop with fucking?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to convince us to drink. We'll drink.
No, I know you. I know you fucking alcoholics will, but
if you find them, just tell us. And
I
then
will.
We'll grab them and then we can drink them on the air together.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's a good idea. Okay, what do you guys have? That's all I have.
Okay,
I just like that there was a warning though. I was like, I might start drinking again.
No,
like it was a positive thing.
Well, I did. I did buy vodka on the weekend, but I still haven't even opened it. It's just sitting on the counter, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some fucking like orange juice and vodka, or Krista bought it for me, and she's like, yeah, let's have. No, it wasn't even on the weekend. It was like fucking Thursday. It was our anniversary. Yeah, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some vodka and orange juice, maybe a little sprinkle of Sprite in there, and I still just haven't. It's like just sitting there, like looking at me, and every time I look at it, I'm like, the way I look at it, I'm like, okay, if I had a drink right now, I cannot drive anywhere. So in my mind, I'm like, what if I have to drive somewhere right away? Like I just won't. That's why I won't drink.
What are you, fucking Batman?
Yeah.
What if I have to leave?
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
I don't know.
You don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
I don't. That's just the way it works. It's
You
just
better open that bottle of vodka tonight.
okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Are you
It just
gonna put
seems like a
plastic on
real
the
sneaky
couch?
tease.
What's
I
that?
don't want to drink in case I have to go somewhere and like you're already at home. Like,
And it's quarantine pandemic.
yeah, what if I gotta go? It's like nobody's calling me. Like you're literally saving the world by staying exactly where
I
you
know,
are. So
but, like,
drink
what-
that drink, man.
Yeah, but what if I just want to like get up and go for a drive? I can't do that if I'm
You
drunk.
still have your graduated license?
Yep.
Call an Uber. Be like, dude, take me for a spin. Except for you have to drive my car.
That is so far from social distancing. It's not even funny.
You sit in the back seat, you'll be fine.
man.
Could you imagine if I tried to get in the back seat of that car?
Just you have to lay
There
down.
is no back. Well, I think I think I put somebody back there that actually had to like take up both seats because they were too tall for the back seat. They couldn't sit, and there's like no leg room at all.
Sounds like you made a really good car purchasing decision.
I don't have kids. I don't give a fuck. Not like I gotta put a car seat in it. Fuck it.
He just sounded like Cartman.
Screw you guys. I'm
I don't
going.
know, kids.
Screw you
What?
guys. I'm going home. Oh my God. Okay, so Jared,
What's up?
tell me something.
Well,
it's all
the
on
only
you.
interesting thing that happened, like, okay, I shouldn't say the only, a lot of interesting things happened, but did you guys see Extraction, the new Chris Hemsworth movie?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, because I should have just. I watched Spy Game today with Robert Redford and
The
Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt one? Robert
Yeah,
Redford?
Yeah. I'd never
Alright,
seen it. It
alright.
was just. It was on
You've
Amazon.
never seen it?
I'd never seen it. It was just on Amazon Prime, so I thought, man, fuck it.
Oh.
On Saturday, I did a marathon of all 3 Oceans movies, and so
Isn't that 4?
You mean all 4?
Yeah, there's 4.
I did.
This
all,
is the girl one.
I
Ocean's
did
8.
Yeah,
all.
the girl one.
I did all 3 of the Oceans movies. And then I decided after that that I was gonna do like watch one Brad Pitt movie a day or something. I don't know.
All right.
Point
You just canceled out your own challenge. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, Brad. Whatever, I don't care.
Brad Pitt movie a day, that's fine. Wait, hang on. I feel like we touched on something there. Are you not recognizing Ocean's 8 as part of that series?
No, I've seen it. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the other one.
Well, you've seen the originals before too.
Okay. Whoa, I'm not. I don't want to turn. I'm not making a political statement saying that women can't make movies or something like that.
Is this the whole Ghostbusters thing all over
we're
again?
not going. We're not going to touch on that because that's a whole different thing. No. Ocean's 8 is fine. I just have no interest in watching it. It doesn't. Stylistically, it doesn't come close to the first 3.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Stylistically, all the women in it are great. The movie itself is whatever. The reason I love the first 3 is because Soderbergh fucking like he basically made these like auteur like 60s fucking caper cinema films in like in the 2000s that were like huge budgets with like massive fucking casts. Like that's what's so impressive about that because it's there's a lot of shit in there that's like a lot of those like fucking lens zooms and just like some of the real auteur shit he did in there is just it's incredible. I'd
Yeah,
say
they look good.
I'd say
for sure.
and it's funny, out of all 3, I think I like Ocean's 13 the best. Stylistically wise.
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement. Stylistically, Ocean's 13 is the best one of all 3.
I feel like
Why?
that's a like a get out of jail free card for like defending your opinion on stuff. It's like I think Boondock Saints 2 was the better movie stylistically. It's like now you just sound like an idiot.
No, because I'm pointing out the fact that my opinion on it is subjective.
No, absolutely. No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh, okay. No, but I after that I was like, oh yeah, Brad Pitt's amazing. I want to watch a Brad Pitt movie a day.
And Spy Game is a good choice for that, man.
Yeah, it was actually. You know what? It was captivating enough that I didn't look at my phone like basically once the whole movie.
Nice.
For you,
That was,
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Very good son. That was not Ridley Scott. That was a Tony Scott movie,
Tony
right?
Scott, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
Tony Scott film.
Missed that guy. I missed when he was doing. He had like this string of movies with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Like him and Denzel Washington were making a bunch of movies together. Like they did Man on Fire. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite Denzel movies, and I think he passed away like probably like 6 or 7 years ago. But I missed kind of that genre of movie, or I guess that era of filmmaking.
Yeah, like
Tony-
the fucking like the early 2000s like thrillers. Early to I guess even like to late 2000s
Yeah,
thrillers
absolutely.
of like fucking
yeah. No, they were cool. And, like the Michael Mann movies that were coming out around that time, and like
you-
Collateral.
Okay.
What?
It's funny that you bring up Michael Mann because I don't like Michael Mann's style of filmmaking. I don't.
Stylistically,
I don't like it because to me it looks like the motherfucker's running around with a handy cam shooting everything. Everything's shot at like fucking 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. It's too clean. It's too clean. It doesn't look like film to me, and that's why I don't like what
because he was shooting on digital, and yeah, his movies started looking like home movies.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But Collateral's an amazing movie.
Yeah. I would love to see Tom Cruise do more like bad guy roles because he fucking owned it.
Oh yeah.
You know who else would be a good bad guy? Probably Ben Affleck, I think. Like he probably would do real well. Yeah. He has played a bad guy before.
Yeah.
He is a bad guy, so it's a natural role.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He just owns it.
Jared just wanted a reason to invoke the Ben Affleck name.
Always.
To see what Adam's face would do.
I'm good.
Okay, so Adam, what's this challenge you got for us?
I was just going to challenge us to cook or bake something that you've always wanted to, but haven't.
Okay.
Because I think, we have all this downtime and stuff, and it's like everyone's kind of eating food. Everyone online is making bread or fucking canning beans or fucking making their own wine or fucking
Are you canning
making
beans?
their own mortadella or raising a pig or they bought some goats or whatever the fuck quarantine has made people do.
Making their own mortadella. What the fuck?
People post the craziest shit. We were so bored, we decided to make our own washing machine. You're like, okay, cool. That sounds great. So I just thought, for me personally, I've always wanted to make a cheesecake. I've never made a cheesecake from scratch, like baked one, made one. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll make a cheesecake. And I thought I would throw the challenge out to you guys.
Right.
To make either cook something or to bake something. I know Jared posts. I've been obsessed with brownies lately.
Ooh.
In the last month, I've made probably 5 batches of brownies from scratch, and I've tried all different recipes, all different kinds. Like I've been going crazy with the brownies. And then I saw you posted you made some brownies.
I did make some brownies.
Yeah.
Vegan brownies. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but they were.
Yeah.
Are you vegan?
No, my roommate is. So I made some.
There it is. Jesus.
That sounds like a lie. Like,
I'm not
asking
vegan,
for
dude.
my friend.
I will eat the ass end of a pig. I don't care. I'm not vegan.
It's a whole different challenge.
Okay.
So you want me to bake something that I've wanted to bake?
Well, yeah. Or is there anything that you've wanted to make before that you thought about? Hey, I've always wanted to make this or cook this or bake this or what?
I might try to make like tiramisu.
Okay.
You've
give
made
that a shot.
tiramisu though, haven't you?
I haven't made tiramisu before. I have made. You said you made your first cheesecake not too long ago.
No, I've never made it. I've never made. That's why I want to make it. Is that I've
Oh,
never
okay.
made
Like
it.
when I first got into baking, like I went out like for my work bonus like last year. I went out and got like a KitchenAid mixer. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this thing? Yeah, so I just started with cheesecakes first, and then just kind of keep doing. Yeah, Lincoln got to try some of them.
Oh yeah, no, you brought me some cheesecake. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I remember when you were
Yeah.
doing that.
There was peanut butter in it, and apparently Krista can't have it. So
Nope, she can't have peanut butter.
But tell everyone how good it was.
It was delicious. What? And there was you made some sort of like berry compote for it as well, right?
No, I had made it's called a pavlova,
Oh,
which is like you don't it's basically like a meringue dish with like fruit and whipped cream on top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've had it before. It's super good.
it's amazing. Yeah.
And the like meringue gets like crunchy and chewy. You get like a good texture on it, and then with the berries
Yeah.
and yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So, but I think I might try tiramisu as my next one.
Dude, I love tiramisu. I've made tiramisu from scratch before, and it has turned out terrible. So I'm excited for you because it's an easy dessert, but it's hard at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about
Yeah.
balance, that dessert. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I appreciate about baking, like, I'm not very good like at cooking because I don't have this like this creativity just be in the kitchen like, oh, this will taste good with this will taste good with this. But with
Mhm.
baking, it's nice because it's there's a way to do it.
You're
Yeah,
following
and there's a wrong way
instructions.
to do it. The most difficult thing that I had to make, or I attempted to make, was macarons,
Yeah.
like little
Oh,
cookie
yeah.
things. Holy fuck!
Dude, that's some of the hardest baking to do in general. Like
Yeah.
really good bakers like struggle with making
Struggle
that.
with it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't screw it up so bad that I wouldn't do it again. Because I mean, you just keep doing it until you get it right. I would think that's once you get it right, you're just like, fuck yeah, I can make macarons.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to hang on. So you challenge us to do that, and what do you want us to do? Like bring it on to the next podcast? What do you
No,
want?
so then I thought we could meet up in a safe, like a parking lot,
Oh,
do a social distance exchange, and then on the air we can all taste
Okay,
each
deal.
other's stuff.
that's smart. Actually, I like that.
I like it.
Why not meet up, exchange everything that we made, and then we'll just try it out on the air, see what it's like.
Yeah. Do I
All
sound
right, it's a
normal
lot of
yet?
pressure, but I'm
Well, I
here
thought,
for it.
you know what? To be
I'm
honest,
here
I
for
thought
it. Yeah, yeah.
challenge. It's not really. I didn't think it was that high pressure because it's like we've all never done it before. So
Right.
like, let's say yours is fucking terrible. Well, oh well, you've never done it before, or mine's terrible. Well, I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So there's no really any pressure. It's just
No.
like we have the time. Let's just make it fun, you know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Lincoln, like you haven't, like I don't recall you baking anything, or like
I've seen him
like
cook
any
well.
experience that you have.
I've seen
Sorry?
him cook
I
once, like-
have very little experience with baking in general, but there's like every so often I'll come across a like a recipe on Facebook or something, and I'll save it in a folder on Facebook, just like for like randomly one day I'm gonna fucking make this. And as soon as you said that, I jumped on here to try and find the folder of shit because this is the perfect opportunity for me to go through there and find something. And the first one that popped up was they're called banana bread brownies.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So I want to
Send me that, please.
I will because right, doesn't that sound incredible?
Is that what you were thinking of making?
Yes.
Then okay.
No, I'm going to attempt
I've
to
never even heard of that before. I've heard of like chocolate chip brownies or like cheesecake brownies. I've heard of those combinations, but dude, I've never heard of like banana bread brownie, and I think
Yeah.
that sounds fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, so
I'm making banana bread tonight.
Are you?
Actually,
Ooh.
I
fucking
love banana bread.
Dude.
I love banana bread, and like if it has the actual consistency of like that dense consistency of a brownie but the taste of banana bread, dude, it's fucking
Dude,
over.
and chocolate?
Yeah, it's fucking
Bananas
over.
and chocolate, like fuck.
Yep.
I don't think we'll ever be able to eat regular banana bread ever again. Like we'll have to make these every fucking time, which I'm
Yeah,
fine
dude,
with.
Those sound really good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck with this banana bread.
All
Okay.
right, work.
And you've never had tiramisu before?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
'Cause when I said it, you seemed a little confused as to what it was.
No. I've had tiramisu. I thought
Okay.
I was confused because I thought you had baked tiramisu before.
Oh, okay. No. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna blow your fucking minds.
Well, I fucking hope so.
Are there any allergies that any of us should know about, or things that we don't like to between the three of us, or even Krista, so that she can have some too?
Nuts.
Just no nuts, right?
Nuts, sesame, sunflower,
Okay.
nuts, sesame, sunflower, basically like everything on the planet.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Not
but
everything.
that should cover. Yeah, like no nuts, no sesame,
Okay.
no sunflower. She should be fine.
Okay.
Beyond that, I don't know that she will try anything. Just and like to her credit, it's just like she's very wary of the whole COVID thing, and like for her, it actually makes sense. She likes like if we're ordering food out, she likes the ability to be able to like microwave it just for extra safety on top of like for food coming into the house. So that's what she's been doing, and like that's totally fine. So I don't know that she'll eat anything baked.
Okay, that's
coming,
fine.
Baked coming. I'm not
It's
sure.
more for us-
I'll have to talk to her about it. She can tell me after. She's obviously listening.
All
She
good.
can-
Yeah, yeah.
she
No
can tell
worries.
me.
I was waiting for you to like get a text from her, like with all like the itemized list of everything that she's allergic to. Is like read it.
No, but Jared, why would she text me? She would just text
She
you.
just text
Right,
you.
she should be texting me. Hang on. No, you must have got it right because she didn't text me. We're good.
No, I got it right. I got it right.
You did just have your anniversary a couple days ago, so I mean,
And it was her birthday, so it's like a double whammy. Are they in the same week? They're pretty close, aren't they?
Yeah, they're 5 days. So her birthday is the 25th, and our wedding anniversary is the 30th.
Right.
That
what's
was
wedding
strategic.
anniversary year was?
Sorry,
What how many years?
we've been married for 4 years. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. In August, we will have been together for 11 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Did you guys do anything special for your 4 year?
Actually, we did. We got up. We went to Broken Yoke and ordered food for we ordered brunch for breakfast. So I got chicken and waffles as I always do, and she got the farmer's breakfast as she always does. And then after that, we didn't really hang out for the rest of the day. That's actually not true. We went to the liquor store and got Prosecco and orange juice so she could have mimosas with brunch. That's when I got vodka that I didn't drink. And then, yeah, we just kind of hung out and she played her game and, like it was actually like a really, really good day considering like the position that we're in. Like
For sure.
not being able to like kind of set up to go out for dinner or like celebrate in any grand way. Like I'm really hoping next year for our 5th wedding anniversary, we can actually have like a party with like a bunch of people and kind of like try to recreate some of that like wedding fun that we had, at the wedding. You were there, Adam,
Yeah, it was great. It was so fun, dude. Great times.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, I know Jared, I know talking about marriage is hard for you, but okay, what was with that fucking TikTok you sent us? The fucking the divorce guy singing karaoke thing. That honestly was fucking hilarious. Tommy, do you fucking know? That shit was fucking gold. But
I immediately thought this is what he's going through right now.
I know that's what
This
I
is like
It
That's-
just hit me.
when he sent it, I was like, he's feeling it, and he
Yeah.
sent this out.
I know, and I also want to point out that in our group chat, neither you or I said anything, Adam.
Yeah, you guys just I realize that now. You guys left me hanging and just
No,
started
because
talking like,
I
yo,
left-
so, yo, when do you want to podcast again?
I left it
Yeah,
I
hanging.
wish we could pull it up. I wish we could.
It's
pull
like
the
I'm
TikTok up.
I'm clearly in a state of mind, and you guys are just like, so the new
So
Adam and Lincoln Get Food episode is out. Fuck you.
Deflection. It's
Yeah.
all deflection.
it's all deflection. No, the reason I bring it up now is because I wanted to save it for the podcast that I could publicly ask you like, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. Jared doesn't like to talk about marriage. Oh no, I'm good, man. It was just fucking funny. Like I just
No,
like
that was
I-
really fucking funny.
I just related to it, and I just thought it was hilarious.
What was the thing you fucking? No, that was good. What was the fucking thing you said to me the other day about the iPad?
Oh, when you eventually get the iPad, the new iPad, and I think it's called the float stand.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
If I could have the second part, the second pair that he buys, because he buys everything in pairs.
That
It's true.
honestly, dude, I was fucking like, I was in tears laughing so hard at that because
I was laughing too.
He's already budgeting for it.
well,
like he's
no,
already
you just-
thinking,
You made me do some
one
like,
for my car, one for my office.
made me do some like inner soul searching, and I realized like maybe I am being ridiculous. Like maybe I don't
Yeah,
need.
right. Yeah, right.
No.
No, I already
You're the
want.
gadget guy. You love that shit.
I
That's
do.
you.
I do because I
That's
love.
you.
I love having. If I could have gadgets in every room, I would.
One of the first conversations we ever had at this Motank, you told me about all the equipment you were buying to do all this filming, and you bought all this stuff, and like you were buying all this stuff. You were buying lights and shit. This is like, trust me, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So this is a while ago. This is like when I first met you, but
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
didn't know
just
what the
remember, you were
fuck I
always
was.
kind of like the gadget guy,
Yeah,
which I like. Though,
Gadget
'cause
guy
I'm
can't
not.
fix his own voice though.
gadget guy didn't know his voice was gonna be fucked up until you got.
It's funny because I've just gotten used to it now.
I know.
Like in my head, oh no, that's what Lincoln sounds like.
Yeah, I just sound like a squirrel. Wait, I want to try some.
Prepubescent.
No, I want to try
So,
some.
okay, does this help?
Nah.
Did that help at all? No. How
Go
about
back.
this? Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
We
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
like your voice in there,
yeah.
What? Can
but
you
it's
hear?
not your voice.
It's not my. What does it sound like?
Like Satan.
Oh fuck! Here, I'm gonna keep talking until you hear something that sounds like me. Do I sound like myself?
I mean, you're getting closer, but it sounds like there's
What
like
about
an
now?
overlay of
Do I
something
sound
else.
like myself? Oh
No,
no.
actually, that's perfect.
Oh
That sounds
no.
exactly like you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn that off because it doesn't fucking work. I feel like Doc Brown and Back to the Future. That means this damn thing doesn't fucking work. No, which is funny. I mean, have I haven't had Today is the first day I've had problems with this setup. Hello,
Aww.
little guy. So yeah, we'll have to plan a particular day where all three of
Yeah,
us.
where we all have the day off. We can do the
Yeah.
baking meetup and do the
Yeah.
podcast, and he can't be a diva and forget and be late.
I'll be on time. I promise.
Are you sure?
Just don't make it on a Sunday when I'm fucking wasted on a Saturday.
Oh my god.
No, I'll do it.
Yeah. Fuck.
So it'll probably have to be a weekend though, right? Because you work Monday to Friday. So
I do. Yeah.
yeah,
But
it
I
makes
think,
sense for you to do it on a weekend.
well, if we were
Maybe
to
next
do it,
weekend.
like, it depends on the dish because like I'm fairly confident with tiramisu. Like you have to let it sit in the fridge for a couple days for it to be like set, and like that's when it's the most enjoyable. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I could probably do something like on a Friday night, and then as long as we know what day we're gonna meet up, I'll just prep to do it beforehand.
Right.
So, yeah.
So we'll
Do
give
you want
him
me to
a
like
couple days.
film the experience too? Are you looking at like putting this together in something, or just have it for the podcast?
Like filming.
Don't
you-
ask me to film it. It's gonna be on my phone. It'll look like shit.
Okay.
It's gonna be really hard too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be easy for Lincoln, but not for us.
The gadget guy.
The guy with the kitchen.
Hey!
He's got like the cooking kitchen.
He's got a gorgeous
Which-
kitchen.
Yo, I'm excited, by the way.
I
for
know.
that.
I was just gonna bring that up. So yeah, we won't say exactly what we've got planned, but we do have some. We do kind of have some ideas in the pipeline about stuff we're gonna film like together once we can kind of figure out like and navigate what this fucking shit looks like, where we can all safely be in the same room together. But we have some really funny ideas that we've been talking about this week that we think everybody will like. I have a whole bunch. I think Jared, we need to start doing some movie stuff at some point Because we haven't.
Yeah,
really-
I mean, I was thinking about that because I know some of like the bigger YouTubers that I was looking at. They're just basically doing what's like retro reviews of like older movies. Like it's like because obviously nothing really new is coming out. But I mean, we could have talked about fucking Extraction. I mean, I guess we still can. You just gotta watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it
Okay.
and we'll talk about it. I was thinking about doing kind of like a throwback
Yeah, I'd be
film
100%
series
down for
where
that.
we take something,
Absolutely.
break it down, talk about it, blah blah blah. But
Just do
that's
like
all.
a Jared and Lincoln movie podcast.
Yeah, that's
Just
basically
be like this kind of setup, but just talk about movies and shit.
that's basically what it'll be, and it's yeah.
Be cool to do like a director's series.
That
Yeah,
would be cool.
yeah.
That would be really cool.
Obviously, starting with Michael Mann, just so it's purely painful for you the entire time.
Okay.
So, okay, all right, we're starting with Miami Vice.
Oh my god. So we have to listen to that terrible "In the Air Tonight" fucking cover.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in a while. I just know it wasn't that
Who
good.
covered that
But I want
song?
to make you watch it.
Oh my god. I want to say fuck. Oh my god.
I've never seen that movie. I won't watch it. I know sometimes you just know movies are bad. At
It's
least
bad.
I do.
It's
I have a
bad.
superpower, and you can just tell.
Yeah,
Um,
the super.
it was done by Nonpoint.
The song.
That's all I can play of it before we get.
We don't need to. It's fine.
So-
we,
Yeah, the band is called Nonpoint. Nonpoint, all one word. They're nobody.
It was almost a non-point to bring them up.
But yeah, pretty much. Well, he brought up Miami Vice and fucking no, that movie's bad.
but that's where we're starting, man.
Is
It's a
that
retro
Jamie
review.
Foxx and fucking
Colin Farrell.
Will Ferrell?
Colin Farrell.
No, that movie was
That
fucking.
would have been a good movie.
Yes, it would.
Colin
Yeah, well,
Farrell
just
and,
go watch
Jamie
the other
Foxx.
guys. It's basically the same shit. Brooklyn, but it's Marky Mark and Will Ferrell. That's a good fucking movie.
That movie was on in the lunchroom yesterday, and I've never seen that movie, and everybody in the lunchroom was dying
The
because
other
they've all
guys?
seen it, and they were like, "That movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg."
Wait,
The other guys,
Yeah.
What? Are you sure it wasn't fucking?
Step Brothers.
No, not
No.
not Step Brothers. The Parents one.
No. It was no, not
Daddy's
that, because
Home.
they had badges and shit. They were
Okay,
like
yeah,
cops.
yeah. Daddy's Home is the other one that they did together.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Have you seen?
So I
Yeah.
watched little bits of that movie last night, and I was like, I have to watch this
You
movie.
have to
Because
watch it.
Will Ferrell was so funny, dude. In
That
the
mo-
little bits that I watched.
Yeah, that movie's fucking solid. That's a good. That movie was actually, okay, so Cop Out.
Yep.
By that Kevin Smith did. So Cop Out is the only movie that Kevin Smith has made that he didn't write. He just directed that movie. And the whole reason that came about is because Kevin Smith was on Die Hard, or he was in Die Hard 4. I want to say Die Hard 4. He has a brief cameo in that movie where he plays kind of the Oracle. He's like the all-seeing guy, and like he fucking
Oh, okay.
gives Bruce Willis and Justin Long a whole bunch of information that kind of moves the plot forward, right?
Okay.
So Kevin Smith talks about how meeting Bruce Willis was like this big thing because he was a massive fan of Bruce Willis from Moonlighting and Forward and blah blah blah. Like he was like, oh my god, I get to meet Bruce Willis, and they kind of hit it off a little bit, and Kevin kind of said to him like, hey, like it'd be kind of cool to do a movie together someday or whatever, and like not thinking it would ever happen, and then obviously that kind of roadmap led to doing Cop Out with Tracy Morgan and Bruce Willis, but like at the same time, I think there was there was a competing studio that was doing their own buddy cop movie, which wound up being The Other Guys, which
Oh,
wound up
okay.
actually being like a decent movie. But the problem with Cop Out was that Bruce Willis just wasn't into it and was like a dick to Kevin Smith the whole time, and it was just a nightmare for everybody involved, and that's why that movie kind of shit the bed. But
Mm.
the squirrel's gonna stop talking for a second, so somebody else say something.
I don't think I ever saw Cop Out. It didn't look like that was Tracy Morgan and stuff. But yeah, I had heard about that though. There was a lot of like behind the scenes drama with Kevin Smith and Bruce Willis. But I feel like Bruce Willis has been phoning it in for years, though. Like what's the last like solid apart from like Looper? Maybe I think was the last like really good Bruce Willis movie that I saw. Like,
Wasn't he in that sequel M. Night Shyamalan movie where they did a follow up to Broken or whatever?
Oh, Split.
Unbreakable or whatever.
Split,
Yeah,
he was in Split. Yeah, he was like the stinger at the end of Split.
Yeah, he had the
that he was
sting at
put
the end of
together.
Split, and then he was in Glass.
Right, Glass. That's what I was thinking of.
Which
No.
I still haven't seen either.
No, I haven't seen Glass either. But I think I would agree with you, Jared, that I think the last one that he really didn't phone it in for was Looper.
Movies.
I've heard, I don't know from where, but I've heard in the past somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, that he has a reputation of being a dick sometimes. I don't know if that's true, but, or being
You
hard to work
probably
with.
have heard it because I don't think you would just come to that conclusion in this moment.
No, but I remember, but you don't know. You can't always believe everything anyone tells you, anyways. So
True.
It's tough. I'm a big Bruce Willis fan. Like, I think he's awesome. I've always been a fan. Like, you mentioned Moonlighting. That was like when I grew up.
Yeah.
So Moonlighting was on TV. That's when I was first introduced to him. And then, you know, like Fifth Element, Die Hard, all those movies. Like, so yeah, I've always been a big fan of his. And
Well, and you
to hear that he was a dick, I was like kind of choked. You know?
well, and you cosplay as Fat Bruce Willis at Comic-Con, right?
Just in the bedroom.
Oh my God, such like terrible low-hanging fruit that didn't even need to go anywhere, and I just fucking.
It stunned us though. It fucking worked.
One of my favorite, and the only reason I to say the Fat Bruce Willis thing is because one of my favorite. Well, it's in a terrible episode of Community, but it's like one of my favorite fucking Community gags is when Chevy Chase is like trying to say that he's Burt like they have to go to this costume party or whatever, dressed as like celebrity impersonators, and French Stewart is playing a French Stewart impersonator who heads up. Oh, it's hilarious. Who heads up this entire company that just does like celebrity impressionists, and they kind of look at each other, and he's like, "And you can be," and Chevy Chase says Burt Reynolds, and French Stewart says Fat Brando at the same time. They kind of, he's like Burt, and they kind of look at each other, and they're like, then they repeat it like Fat Brando. Oh, it's so fucking funny. Oh my God, I don't know. I love Chevy Chase. Anytime to talk about Chevy Chase, I'll take it.
Isn't he like the biggest dick on the planet?
Yeah, I
though?
heard that he was like incredibly hard to work with on that.
Yes, particularly with Community. Like nobody wants to work with him now.
You guys, that's my movie dad you're talking about.
Yeah, well, your bro might be a dick.
Well, your movie dad's a dick.
No, you know what? I have
Which doesn't seem like him at all.
no, but I've heard there are a lot of stories about him, unfortunately, where and I know that when there's gotta be like there absolutely has to be some truth to
I
it.
think it's weird when comedians are dicks.
Yeah,
Because I feel like they almost should be like the nicest people because they just make fun of everything all the time.
yeah.
So why do you have to be a dick about everything when you can just fucking laugh it off or like, you know what I mean? Like it's like they don't have the mechanism to deal with things in general or,
Right.
or hardships in general.
I feel like Chevy Chase has softened up in his old age a little bit. Like in the last, because Community premiered 10 years ago. He did 3 years on the show. Not even 3 full seasons. Or sorry, he did 4 years.
4.
He did 3.5 years on the show because in the 4th season, that's when there was a lot of problems. The problem he had with doing the show is that he didn't like the long hours. He just didn't want to be there, right? He didn't understand why the show was funny. He is one of the best characters on the show, hands down. He is incredible on that show. But he himself didn't understand why the show was fun, or at least that's what he said to Dan Harmon. It was what reports say. He didn't understand why the show was funny. He didn't understand why.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
like
just weird.
yeah. So I feel like he's kind of. I mean, I'd like to think that he's kind of softened up. A little bit.
I feel.
As he gets older, like I'd like to think that he loves the fuck out of his fans, though. I know that for a fact. he reposts everything on his Instagram. Anything anyone tags him in on Instagram, whether it's positive or negative, he fucking reposts all. He reposted my tattoo on his Instagram, like the tattoo I have of him on my leg. He reposted that on his Instagram. He loves his fans because he knows that his fans are the only reason that he is where he is. He's just had a problem working with other people in the industry, which, fair enough. What were you gonna say, Jared?
I feel like, and I'd have to rewatch the show, but I seem to recall like the show was very like, it seemed to be as the show progressed, it got a little bit more like mean spirited with the jokes to his character the longer the show went on. Like he was everything about it was either insulting him or kind of like blowing him off. And like I don't know if that was always the intention for that character, but I was like, is this part of like what's going on, that they're just like, we're just gonna like talk shit about this guy because we don't like working with him, or if that was always the trajectory that they were taking with him.
Well, and so Dan Harmon has gone on record talking about how he'd be in Chevy's trailer having a conversation with him where Chevy's going off on this like almost Pierce style rant, like much the same way he does in the show.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Dan would be like, everything you just did is hilarious. I don't understand why you don't see it. Because Dan was just trying to play up his like
Chris or whatever it's called, idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, like just getting old and being that like old fart.
Being kind of cranky.
Yeah, being a cranky old man. Like he was trying to play that up, and I don't think I do for some part of me does feel like he didn't want to be the butt of a joke. Absolutely. You're totally right there, Jared. He did not want to be the butt of the joke because
But it was fucking hilarious.
It was fucking hilarious. And if he had like, it's sad, man. I get to that part of season 4. I can't. Season 4 is trash anyway because
that's really bad.
That's when they fired Dan Harmon anyway. But you get to that part of season 4 when he's just not there, and like they literally had to write in the characters asking, "Where's Pierce?" And the other characters making excuses as to like, "Oh, he's just off doing whatever." It's like almost like a throwaway joke. And then there's even one episode where Pierce is sitting at the table, like Chevy's sitting at the table, and they're like making plans to go off and do all this shit. And then everybody gets up and leaves, and then Pierce is sitting there, and he goes, "What about me?" And Joel McHale turns around and he says, "Don't die," and then goes to walk away, and then turns back and goes, "Or do, I don't care," and then walks away. And that's Chevy's only part in like the entire fucking episode. And
that's what I mean, right?
That to me was super, but that's in season 4. That's not even Dan Harmon era. That's like super fucking sad to me because like if he had leaned into it, he could have absolutely been one of like the all-time greatest. He already is, just for like season 1, 2, and 3, like one of the greatest all-time like TV curmudgeons.
Big word.
He does play it so well. You're right.
He does. And it's sad. Like if he had leaned into it a little bit more and just and
that's the part that blows me away, is that he didn't see where the genius was, like where the show was funny, or that where he could have made it funnier, or like, because he is such a comedic genius. I feel like he would find those moments or know instinctually how to play those moments or make them better, or like to ad lib, or whatever his technique or strategy is to be funny. He just never seemed to apply it. It was more like he was just reading the jokes.
I feel like hindsight being what it is, I think it's caught up with him, and he sees because at the time, okay, here's the other problem. The show was like one of the lowest rated shows on television, was always on the verge of being canceled. So in his mind, when you're in the eye of the storm, you can't see what's happening outside of it, right?
True.
Like he can't see the legion of fucking fans that are just like, "Oh my god, we love everything about this. We love we love you, we love you, we love you, we love you, we love what you're doing. And so for him, and all of this is speculation. I'm obviously speculating for him about what happened based on what I've heard about it. But like, you know, when you're getting older and you're tired and you don't want to be on set for 16 fucking hours a day, doing jokes you don't understand, doing episodes that you don't understand why they're funny, maybe at the time, you know, it's really hard to kind of see the bigger picture around it. And I feel like hindsight being what it is and time being what it is, it's kind of come back in a way where he's like, he can appreciate it for what it is. Hence why he's fucking reposting everybody posting Community memes and like everything. Because right now everything has to do with Community, because it's come up on Netflix and everybody is rewatching it and talking about it, et cetera, et cetera. So I would like to think that it's kind of that he's softened up on it a little bit, and that he's kind of like, you know, like hindsight being what it is he's just kind of like, like maybe I wish I had kind of that I because if they ever get to the point where they're like, yes, let's do a movie, I would fucking lose my shit if they found some way to bring Pierce's character back. Even though they killed him in the show, they could 100% just write it in that he faked his own death. He did it how many times in the series? He did it like 3 or 4 times throughout the series where he faked a heart attack and just fucking...
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they could absolutely write in the fact that he faked his own death to just kind of get away.
Sorry to cut you out. One of my favorite Pierce episodes was the one where he's in, I think it was season 4 though, where he's in the hospital and he's trying to like he's convinced Jeff that his dad is gonna show up.
No, that's season that's advanced documentary filmmaking. I think that's season 2.
Oh shit! You even know the titles?
Yes. They put okay.
That.
They put Community on Netflix like 3 weeks ago, and I watched through the entire series 5 times.
Oh my god!
In the first 2 weeks it was up.
I mean, the episodes are 22 minutes, so I get it.
No, but that's on it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite TV show of all time. It hands down. So as soon as they put it up, I immediately started episode 1, went through the entire series in like 2 days, because it was just all like I don't even need to watch. I don't even need to like sit and watch the episodes anymore. Like I just know what's happening. It's just really nice to have it on in the background all the time.
Fair. I don't even know what my favorite TV show is. I'm not that passionate about anything.
It's your
Probably why I'm
generation.
You don't have anything in your life that you like.
I'm not passionate about anything. Sounds like a cry for help.
I sent you the meme, guys.
I know.
Sent you the meme.
Yeah, you're getting divorced. I
struggling.
know. I'm just making sure that that's it's intermediate documentary filmmaking, and it's episode 16 of season 2.
All right, you double check, fact check yourself.
Advanced documentary filmmaking is in season 3, where the dean tries to make the commercial for the community college, and Abed is doing the documentary about that, and it's like they're doing like the play on Hearts of Darkness, which was the documentary about Apocalypse Now, which because of that episode, I went and found Hearts of Darkness, the documentary about Apocalypse Now, and I've never seen Apocalypse Now. I've watched Hearts of Darkness, and I've never seen Apocalypse Now. Because
of Community?
Yeah, because in the episode, Abed says, or somebody says that it's like, Hearts of Darkness was better than Apocalypse Now because it was real. So I went and watched Hearts of Darkness, and I was like, well, no need to watch the actual movie.
Was it good?
The document, yeah, it's good. Holy fuck. That actually just reminded me of something that I watched recently that actually like made me fucking like break down in tears.
Was it Paddington 2?
Yeah, 100% Paddington 2. No, you guys are familiar with what Shudder is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The streaming service? It's they have all the scary movies and whatnot. So they produced this documentary series about quote unquote cursed films,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They've been advertising it a lot. So
Yeah.
I watched the whole. There's only like 5 episodes.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 episodes. Yeah, there's like Poltergeist,
Poltergeist,
and
Exorcist,
then there's like Exorcist,
The Crow.
The Crow, right.
Crow.
I tried to watch it on my Kodi box, but it wouldn't find any downloads for it. But I have it queued. I wanted to watch it.
It's good.
It looked really good.
It's good. I'll get it. We'll make
All
sure
good.
you can
Yeah,
watch it. So I watched the episode about Twilight Zone, the movie.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna spoil this episode a little bit for you because it's
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert. It fucking like kind of broke me a little bit. So, you've seen Twilight Zone, the movie, right?
Are we talking the old one?
Yeah, the one from the 80s. That like
Is
Steven
that the one with like the thing on the creature on the wing, and then the truck driver, and like all those classics?
Yeah,
Oh,
and, like
that's-
yeah.
that's-
They did like they had like a bunch of different
Dude, I love. Okay, honestly, I loved horror movies as a kid. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
no,
But
that's
that
fine.
movie was so important to me growing up. Like, I loved horror movies, and that was one of the first horror movies that I ever watched. I call it horror in a like loose term, but as a kid, like I was probably 12 when I watched that movie.
The Twilight
Dude,
Zone.
I love that shit so much.
So
go ahead.
you like Creepshow then too, right?
Love that
Yeah,
shit.
Creepshow's
Tales
fucking-
from the Crypt, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Okay, so there is the Twilight Zone movie opens with the story about the dude who's like super insensitive and super racist, and you know what I'm talking about, Adam, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that sequence was filmed.
Hey, why would you know that? Because Adam's super insensitive and super racist?
No,
I love
because-
the movie.
Yeah, because he's loved the movie and he's seen the movie. Fuck you,
You
Jared.
dick
I'm trying
butt.
to tell a fucking story here. So anyway, John Landis directed this because they had multiple directors for each segment of
Yeah.
the movie. So John Landis directed that segment of the movie. So that segment has the dude going into a bar, talking to his friends, throwing some really like hateful racist shit out at some other people, and then him walking out of the bar and walking into the middle of Nazi Germany in like the middle of World War II, right? And then he's like all of a sudden running away from Nazis, and then he's in Vietnam, and he's running away from both the people of Vietnam and like the soldiers in Vietnam and the American soldiers. Like he's trying, like it's a Twilight Zone episode. Like he's just getting thrust in on all these things. So when they were filming the movie, the studio came down and said that that character needed to have a redemptive kind of end to the story. So what they came up with was he was going to be in this village and carry 2 Vietnamese children out of this village that's like blowing up and fucking like he's carrying them through the river. So I have to pull it up because I forget the actor's name off the top of my head. Vic Morrow. So Vic Morrow is the actor who is the guy that's kind of been thrust into all this shit, and he's trying to get out and whatnot. So the original ending that they shot, because the ending was supposed to be him like taking these 2 kids and like going away and being like, oh, I saved them and I redeemed myself and whatever, right?
That's so lame.
So lame. So, but the ending that we see is like him in the train where he's like reaching out to his friends and he's like, and they can't see him because he's in the Twilight Zone. Anyway, so that sequence in the village that they set up, John Landis, they fucking built this village and then they like set it to like explode all these different ways, and they fucking had this helicopter flying over top as like part of the, it's shooting at the village or whatever the fuck, I don't know. So anyway, they were filming it at like 2:30 in the morning. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but this fucked me up. But anyway, they were filming at 2:30 in the morning. So the casting the legalities of shooting with children is you can't shoot after 8 p.m. and like there's a whole bunch of rules. You can't have them for more than X amount of hours and yada yada yada. So in order to get around this, they just went and found some Asian-looking children off the street and told them like, oh, you can come and be in this movie, and like they like had their parents sign off on it and all that stuff. So they go to film this sequence, and the parents even asked of them like ahead of time. They're like, is this fucking like, is this dangerous? And they're like, nah, it's like a ride at Disneyland is what they told the parents. And I think you can kind of figure out where this is going. So the scene starts, the fucking village starts exploding, and Vic has a kid under each arm, and he's fucking wading through the river, and then the explosion started getting way too close to the helicopter, and it fucking took out the back end of the helicopter, and the thing hits the river, and they fucking show this in the documentary. The rotary blades fucking like chop all three of them in half in the river, and just fucking like they're just as soon as the rotary blade hits them, they're just gone. And it like I fucking sat there stunned for like a beat, and then I just started crying because I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like why? And then it made me fucking angry because John Landis, the guy who was directing that sequence there, you know, he was the one supervising all of this, and like he was the one that had them go, like he wanted more realism, he wanted more, and look where it got him. Killed 3 people, like these 2 poor kids in front of their parents. Fucked up. It's one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in general, and especially from a movie set. And I know that because earlier in the documentary they talk about how Vic Morrow, there's a scene where he kind of trying to flag down the U.S. soldiers in that same sequence, and because he's in the Twilight Zone, they're seeing him as like a Vietnam soldier. So when he's like trying to wave them down, that's what they're seeing. So they turn and then they start firing at him. And the way that sequence works out is Vic is supposed to be like, well, oh, and then like dive out of the way, and then somebody yanks him off camera because all of the guns had real fucking bullets in them. And they just like start mowing down all the fucking like it just like some of the most mind-boggling shit I've ever heard in my life about the making of a film. And it's not even the making of an entire film. It's literally the making of
one episode of
fucking
the film.
10 to 15 minute segment of a film.
Yeah. It's like a short movie, basically.
It's basically a short movie, and the dude, it definitely hurt his career, but it didn't fucking ruin his career. Like he still went on to make movies, and like he didn't go to jail. They found him not guilty, even though there was willful fucking, in my opinion, there was willful negligence. Obviously, I wasn't there, but based on the evidence that I saw, and you know, there was a lot of like, that's how fucked up is that?
Did they not warn you in the documentary that you're about to see this?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that as soon as you mentioned, like, is there no warning for this?
Nope.
Like, hey, you're about to watch 3 real people get chopped in half.
Nope.
Like, they don't warn you.
To frame it up, it's a very wide shot. It's a very wide shot of the river, but you can clearly see, like, he's about this big, Vic Morrow, in the water carrying the 2 children, and then suddenly it's just like you see the blade hit them, and then they're gone, and it still holds on that shot for like another few seconds, and then it cuts to like somebody else in the documentary, and I was like, yikes.
Imagine you just ended the episode there.
Just like stop streaming right here.
No. Imagine John Landis was like, and cut.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
No, but like really for the Twilight Zone, like
Oh, I know.
I'm not trying
No,
to
I-
make fun of it in any
No,
way.
I know.
But I'm just saying, like that is some fucked up shit. I've never heard of anything like that.
No, and it kind of it like it made me really. At first, I was like really fucking like Krista had to come upstairs and she was just like, "What? Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay?" And I had to fucking like through like hyperventilating, like explain it to her, just like what I just saw. Like, I don't want to. Ah, fuck.
You don't want to show her, obviously.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't show her,
terrible.
but I told her like what I just saw, and the really sad thing about it is like, So like in the what are we laughing about?
I can't stop laughing at him laughing.
Is it my voice?
He's trying to hold something back.
You know, like when you laugh at something and then you're clearly not supposed to, and like you say, okay, everybody, let's be serious, and it just makes it so much worse. And I'm just trying to stifle this. And cut, you got it, guys.
So the whole
Okay.
so in the context of like say Rick Dalton in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah.
So the dude's like like a little bit washed up and like he doesn't really know where his career's going, stuff like that. That's kind of the position from what they said like Vic Morrow was in. Like he just wasn't
Yeah,
getting
what other stuff was he in? What
a lot
other-
of
what's
stuff.
It's like
A lot of stuff in the 50s. Like he was one of
Okay.
those dudes like in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. So by the time the 80s rolls around,
he's like trying to restart his career and like I got you.
yeah, so
Makes
he
it even more sad, dude. For
yeah,
sure.
because like he needed a fucking job, right?
Right.
So he took it because he needed a job and he was
right.
How do you spell his name?
VICMORROW. He is
Oh.
actually Jennifer Jason Leigh's dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes it like that much more sad because it's like he
He had kids.
in
so
like
that's sad.
in like a few instances while they were making this where it's just kind of like, hey man, like yeah, like I think he even said before they ran that stunt, the very last stunt, that he's like, man, I should have. He's like, fuck, like these kids are heavy. I should have asked for a double or something. Like he, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, man, like he should not have been the one A running that stunt and B like they should not have been fucking doing it that way at all. Like John Landis is he's notorious for just like doing crazy heinous shit, like running a fucking like stream of police cars and the Blues Brothers car through a mall, which all
Right. That's a good scene though.
it's
yeah.
a great scene. Absolutely everything about it was like legit because they set it up to like do it that way, but they fucking destroyed the mall and then left. They didn't fix anything. They just left. And like the people I've read some shit. This is years ago that I read this actually, where I was like, how like it was actually like the last time I watched Blues Brothers, I looked it up where I was like, how did they get away with like destroying this mall? And yeah, like people who like own the mall or whatever were pissed because they just fucking came in, destroyed it, and fucking bombed out. Like they were just done. They were like, nope, it's your problem now. And like that kind
They're
of
like doing wheelies in the stores and
well,
then
they
like
destroyed the
coming out and
yeah,
like,
they destroyed the entire mall. Like it's fucked, man. So
I think you think in your mind you're like, oh, this is probably like either a stage or this is an abandoned mall and they just
Yeah.
filled it with a bunch of shit and like that's
Yeah.
what you're consciously kind of thinking of when you're watching it because it is a crazy scene, but you try to justify like, oh well, like this couldn't have been a real mall or they probably
Yeah.
cleaned it up or this is a set or
yeah,
whatever because like it's pretty crazy. But they just left. They were like, thanks.
no, they were just like, okay, thanks, moving on. That's what they say.
Crazy.
That's what they say in the film.
So what was the outcome then of that Twilight Zone bit? Like that just never aired, or they found like
no,
how did
it's
they?
no, it's in the movie because I literally, as soon as I finished that episode, I was like, okay, well, I've seen the Twilight Zone movie. Why do I not remember this whole sequence in the movie? Like, did they just not put it in there? Nope. Turn the movie on. It's the very first one in the movie.
Yeah.
That scene with the fucking helicopter isn't in the movie though.
Oh,
They
okay.
ended. So the whole reason they went with this other fucking ending with the helicopter and all that shit that ultimately killed those people was because the studio wanted the redemptive storyline for the character, but what they ended up airing was the original
With
ending.
what they originally filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Right.
yeah, just like yeah, I don't know. Posthumously, it was kind of like watching that after I had watched the documentary thing, and like I don't know, it was just it made it more fucked up and like but like not in a good way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It kind of like, and I just turned
But
the movie.
there's a lot of movies where like stunt people die, or somebody
know.
died, or this person died, or like
Yeah.
I'm not like
The
trying
industry,
to-
well, and the industry is the industry definitely has its downfalls, and when it comes to like they're burning money, they need to get shit done quickly, right? So
Yeah.
there's definitely been like, and we've seen it recently. That poor girl that got run over by a fucking train because they were. I don't know if you guys ever heard about this, but they were filming I can't remember what the movie. It was for some musician. They were filming like a biopic, and it was the day one. It was the first day of shooting, and they were filming this like dream sequence where they had a fucking wireframe bed on the train tracks, and the crew was told that the train tracks were not being used, like they were not active. And then they were setting up for the shot, and then all of a sudden they heard a fucking train coming, and they were in the middle of this bridge, so everybody had to run. Like, literally run off the... Like, it wasn't even like, oh, just get away from the tracks, like, get the bed. No, they were on a bridge. They had to, like, run to get away from this fucking thing, and this poor girl, camera assistant, lost her fucking life because other people didn't do their job and secure permits and make sure they had permission and all this shit. The director of that film is in jail. Because willful negligence. But is John
Crazy.
Landis in jail? No. No.
And
he
what
was
was
part
the
of the
difference there? Just like he was a bigger name at the time. He just like
John Landis? I don't know. It was the 80s. Because you have to prove within what is it? Within a shadow of a doubt that like what they say, yes, absolutely what happened on the Twilight Zone film set was an accident, but it was a preventable. It's a like to me it's a preventable accident because you don't need to fucking like it didn't need to be as fucking crazy as it was. Like, dude, it's like I don't know.
And a redemptive end to a Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah,
like,
like
are
the
we on
whole-
the same fucking page?
no the
Yeah.
studio was wrong in asking for that,
It's
and
so
then
weird.
yeah that part,
Especially when none of it needed to happen. That's the saddest part
that's
about
the saddest part of it
it.
all.
What you touched on was that it was done. The project was done.
Yeah.
Everybody could have gone home, been with their families. They didn't need to reshoot this part. Like,
No.
so that's the sad part for sure.
Yeah, but I don't want to drag the pod down anymore. I just want to tell that story because that was something that like happened to me recently because we've been at
Okay.
home watching shit and like that whole series is actually like really good and there's some really good points about it's actually great because there's some really good points from some really smart people that like where people are like, ooh, these films are cursed because all these people died in relation, like the Poltergeist one where they're like these people died because they were in this fucking movie, blah blah blah, and then there's like more level-headed people that are like, no, she got attacked by her boyfriend, she had a fucking disease that they missed fucking diagnosed for years that killed her. You know, like it has nothing to. None of it had like. It's actually good. The series is good in that way. It's not just like ooh spooky. The films are cursed. Like it's actually fucking. It's actually a really good series to watch.
what's the name of the series?
It's called Cursed.
Okay. And that's on Prime?
It's on Shudder.
Oh, Shudder. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Well, maybe I'll have to get Shudder because that actually does sound really interesting.
Shudder's dope. Because they also have the Creepshow anthology remake. They did like a Creepshow series last year, and I think season 2. Well, I don't want to say that now because I know they were doing a season 2, but I don't know if it shut down because of COVID.
Isn't there a newer Twilight Zone movie?
No, there's
No.
a new Twilight Zone series coming out.
Well, it's
Where
already-
the pilot already aired. Jordan Peele was like an executive producer on it.
I've seen
I don't know if-
I've seen 3 episodes of it, and it's fucking dope. The
Yeah.
new
Is it good?
the
Yeah.
new Twilight Zone that Jordan Peele does.
Is it like new? It's kind of like Black Mirror-esque.
No,
sort of.
no. It still has
No?
a very much. I mean, so one of the one of the first episodes of the series is like the quintessential airplane episode, which Adam Scott is actually in. One of the guys from like Parks and Rec. He's like the main guy in it. I think I'm getting that right, but anyway.
Yeah.
So they remake them, or they're
But
new?
here's the thing is because so there was the original. Okay, so there's the original airplane episode with William Shatner where the fucking thing's on the wing and there's a thing on the wing.
There's something on the wing.
Yeah. That, and then they took that and remade it in the movie in the
Okay.
80s, right? And now they've taken it and they've brought it up to like 2018, I guess is when, or 2019 or whenever that fucking show came out.
Yep.
But it's not like
So they
a-
modernized it.
they
okay.
modernized it, but it's not a thing on the wing. It's like a totally different story, but it happens on a plane and it's still
Okay, I like that better.
yes.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a different twist on that story.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
smart.
not just oh, there's something ripping apart the plane. Like it's something
Okay.
totally different, but it still
Okay.
happens on a plane. In the
I like
Twilight Zone.
that. That's a good idea, though. I'm glad they didn't remake it instead
No.
of using the same idea and then twisting it. I like
Because that's what I thought too. Like going into that episode, I was like, all right, there's gonna be a thing on.
that.
the
Well,
wing.
you know what you're in for.
I was
It's
like,
like
it's the
watching
thing-
Titanic. You're like, I know how this ends.
He's not wrong.
Well, they don't live. You know that. Like, the ship doesn't fucking miss the iceberg. Like,
I every time I watch that movie, I'm so hopeful that maybe this time they're gonna make it to New York.
Disappointed every single time.
No, they hit the iceberg every fucking time. I don't get it.
It's weird to think that we're reaching like a generation of people like if like some younger kids watch it like don't realize it's actually this shit actually happened.
dude, I just the other day talking to a young person and they didn't know that Family Guy was canceled before. No way it was canceled. No way.
It's so
It's always been on the air for 100 years. No, it was canceled. No
Which?
way. You had to
Was it
Google
canceled
it.
like twice?
I don't know. As far as I can remember, only once.
Okay.
What
I mean,
got
it doesn't
canceled?
matter. It was canceled for sure. It was canceled. Yeah.
What
And
got
then DVD sales are what brought it back. And I like had to explain that to him, and he was like, "No." It was like looking at he was looking at me like I had 7 heads.
Are you talking about Family Guy?
Yeah, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy got canceled at least twice.
Yeah, I tried to explain this to a young person who tried to fight me on it.
No.
Then they had to Google it, and then I was like,
No,
sucked
because
up.
when it aired, when it came out, everybody vehemently hated it. They thought it was
Hated
the,
it.
they thought it was the worst fucking thing that had ever come to television. That's what the
And
critics.
the other thing was that the sense of humor of it was like everybody was so preconditioned to Simpsons and South
Yeah.
Park, and then when Family Guy came out, everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Like it wasn't funny. None of the jokes land. Like I'm not saying it's not funny, but it wasn't. It didn't land as being funny
no.
to modern audiences. And then I
No.
remember everyone hated it.
And the thing, and early if you go back and watch early Family Guy too, it's like pretty normal. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not even close to what it is now, where it's just like, oh, I have a banana on my head. Oh, flashback to like fucking George Jefferson getting a banana in the ass, like that disconnected humor style where they just like flash to random shit. Some of it, don't get me wrong, some of it's really funny where it's just like, okay, that was stupid as hell, but like, I'm high, that was funny, great, grand, wonderful, moving on. But early
Well,
Family
I mean,
Guy,
there has been like to touch on that. There has been a pretty dynamic shift in humor in general. Like we look at the era of like American Pie. Like remember those like just overtly like, you know, all about teenage hormones and like just all sex driven. And then we don't really see those anymore. Like I mean, at least not hitting theaters anymore. The whole like the adult themed teen comedy kind of died down. But I think the shift, if I was to go back, is to look at like I think Superbad was the shift for
Yeah.
the change in what we think is funny now, where it's like just really like snappy and witty dialogue as opposed to slapstick humor, which is what a lot of the American Pie. There's a lot of like visual gags,
totally.
and like it's just the audience is kind of like oh we're over that. Like when I remember seeing Superbad in theaters, I'm like people were fucking howling. Like was just such good dialogue, and that's why
So it
you know,
wasn't
all those-
just it was like a
Yeah,
shift.
like all those like Judd Apatow movies like were coming, like the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and like all these like Paul Rudd, like what's his name? I can't remember this. Jason Segel. Is it Jason Segel?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, and like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like that
Yeah.
style of movie started coming out, and like and to almost like cycle back, that could also be why Chevy Chase didn't understand the humor. It's like it's just a different generation of for a community. It's like, yeah, like I don't get why this is funny. Like you compare that to something like fucking National Lampoon's Family Vacation, where it's like it's just a completely different style of humor.
And it's a totally yeah, you're right. It's a totally different era.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
it's just that I think possibly just a generation gap. I don't want to speak for him, but that could be why he didn't get it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm thankful that he was in it because you're right. He was a very good character. Like when they're making fun of it was funny. Like, and he was funny just kind of how like not detached, but how clueless he was to a lot of things, and that's what made his character funny.
The fucking just a time. One of the it's season 1, I believe, and it's near the end of season 1 where Abed has made a list of stereotypical college experiences to have, right? And they're all in the study room, and Pierce is sitting on the table. He's got an acoustic guitar, and he's wearing like this fucking like beret or whatever, and he's like sitting there plucking it or just playing, and it's no one to sit on my airship or whatever. And somebody fucking, I think Jeff says something to him, and he just goes, "Excuse me." But then Abed smashes the guitar, and he goes, "Hey, what the hell?" Like he does his little like squeaky like Chevy Chase thing. Fuck, he's just gold. Like everything he does is gold, man. It's all gold. And I think that's the key lesson of today is that everything Chevy Chase does is gold.
I feel like
He
every
doesn't do a
episode is
lot.
What?
And he doesn't do a lot. And if he does it, he doesn't always get it, apparently.
Right.
But when he does do it, it's gold.
Yes.
I feel like every episode is us finding out like some new, like, really personal hero of Lincoln's.
Yes.
Like last one, like Ben Affleck, we get it.
I mean, that
Can't
one's
wait
not,
to see who the next episode of
that-
this one is.
well, Ben Affleck's not a secret. Chevy Chase really isn't a secret. Well, I
Oh, you
know.
got
I
the
already
tattoo
know.
on your body.
I already know who's the head honcho of next weekend or next week or next episode. It's my
Yeah,
other.
that's fine.
It's my TV dad. Chevy
Are you
Chase.
going to have a different voice? John Goodman. Are you going to have a
Fuck.
different voice?
I don't know. No, I'm gonna work on fixing this because tomorrow I'm supposed to be going live.
I'm excited for your tomorrow podcast.
Yeah, I'm going live with Alicia, who's currently on Top Chef, Top Chef Canada, excuse me, and she's killing it. Did you guys watch the episode last week?
I've only seen
I haven't watched
episode
it yet.
1. I'm going to watch more episodes tonight, actually.
Okay, yeah,
I've only seen episode 1 where she won.
yes, yeah. So she did great in episode 1. She did great in episode 2. Episode 3, she has a little bit of trouble.
Don't
I'm
spoil
not spoiling anything, but I'm excited to see what she puts together because tomorrow is episode 4. So yeah, watch and catch up so that you can be ready.
And also, you should give her shout out to her truck. Little, what is it? Little Truck on the Prairie.
Yes.
Let's talk on
Because
this.
you've gone to see her a couple times to go and support her with Drive Up
Yep.
food service.
Yeah, we had it today.
Dude, her chicken sandwich looked. Can you fucking give me a heads up, please, next time?
Yeah,
And I'll come.
yeah. Oh, 100. Well, yeah, because you're not even that far. She was at Cross Iron Mills today. Holy fuck! We got the chicken Sammy, the chicken sandwich, which had red cabbage, this like nice dill, kind of spread on it, and then the fucking chicken. Dude, the brioche bun. Oh my god.
Dude, the poutine looked
And the
insane.
poutine, the coffee braised short rib poutine, was fucking killer. It was all of it was absolute. Her food is incredible.
You're making me so hungry.
I know.
I know. I'm just like sitting here.
I know. And you know what? It'll be really good because we're gonna get her involved in like a bunch of stuff.
What time is that happening tomorrow?
The me talking to Alicia,
Yeah,
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yeah,
same
so
time.
I'm gonna be
Alright.
talking to her at 6, and then we'll talk for about an hour. I don't want to go too long because the episode starts at 8 our time,
Perfect.
8 our time. So yeah, 6 our time. We'll kick it off, kind of talk to her, see how she's feeling, how she's been doing lately with kind of all the, because she's fucking celebrity now.
Right? She's super popular.
She okay. Here I will say this before we jump off. Today when we went to the food truck, we've been twice now. So last weekend we went, and they had it in the parking lot by the food court. So it's a smaller parking lot. Today they had it in the front parking lot, which was a lot smarter. But
Yeah.
anyway, last weekend when we got there, every other truck was super lined up, like lined up for days. Mini Donuts lined up for days. The fucking taco truck lined up for days. Pizza truck had a pretty big line. Lil truck only had like, I think there was maybe 6 vehicles in front of us last weekend. I may be counting wrong. Not sure. It wasn't huge, right? Like it wasn't a really big line. And then there was a few. By the time we got to the front, there was a few cars behind us. But like it wasn't massive. And then they went to South Center the next day, and I think they had a pretty decent turnout. They also had some problems with their ribs last week. Anyway, this weekend, today, I don't know how they did last weekend, but fucking today when we pulled up, they were the biggest line out of all the trucks. Mini Donuts had nobody. Cookie Deal had nobody. Pizza, like 3 people. This fucking wiener or the hot dog place, they had like 5 people. Lil truck, like fucking 10 in line. Then we got in line, and then by the time we got to the front, there was like another 11 or 15 cars behind us. Everybody wants Little Truck on the Prairie. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, their food
That's
is
awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
And I'm super stoked for her that her truck is like they're starting to take off. It really sucks that it's happening in a pandemic because honestly, like they would be doing so well right now. Like just
Yeah.
honestly going and parking like everywhere, they'd have so much walk-up traffic. It's not even
But
funny.
it's a blessing, like even with the like it's a blessing that on the flip side, that it is happening during this pandemic. Like
I
people
agree.
are still making the trip to go out there.
I agree.
you know?
No,
And
100%.
support her. That's really awesome
Yeah.
for sure.
And
I've worked with Alicia before. Like we used to cook together, and I know like how talented she is, and I know how smart she is as a chef. So I'm happy that her truck is busy. And the thing I like about her truck is that it's real food.
yes.
It's not like nothing against cookie dough or pizza or any of that. That's all great. I love all that stuff. But like hers is real food that she makes
No
from
gimmicks.
scratch, and
Yeah.
it's like all 100% her recipes. And so
Yeah.
you have to like that. You have to give someone props when their food's good and it's all their own food. So I'm happy for her, man.
And I will give her
Absolutely.
props because I'm not a cabbage guy. But
Right.
she had the red cabbage on the sandwich today. And like the crunchiness of the chicken coupled with like the crunchy cabbage was such a nice, like they complemented each other really well, and like the tastes also complement. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. It was honestly incredible.
I can tell you, funny, you just touched on brioche bun quickly, and I have to tell you, like, I told you that I've been making a lot of brownies this past month because, like, I'm a fat guy, I'm obsessed with brownies. But I've also been making burgers every week for myself
Fuck.
and trying different patties and different buns and different setups and different sauces and stuff. And I can tell you, out of all the buns that I've tried for my homemade burgers, dude, brioche buns are for the win.
Oh yeah.
They are ultimately like I thought for sure that I would be a traditional sesame seed guy,
No.
which I like.
Yeah.
But after doing the brioche buns, dude, and I put butter on them and I toast them first,
Yeah.
and that softens the whole bun up. And then when you eat it with the burger, it's like chewy, so it gives you like a different texture, dude. I'm all about the brioche bun, so I can't wait to try it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm so fucking hungry now.
I know, Jared's just I could see it in your face. You're just sitting there
Salivating.
so angry because you're like, fuck no, I need Little Caesars.
Oh, they close in 15 minutes, so
Oh, you better get running then. All right, yeah, let's fucking wrap her up.
All right.
He's got to
all right.
get to Little Caesars. But thank you guys for
Thanks, guys.
thanks for being on time, Adam. I guess I will see you guys. Well, we're gonna, like I was saying earlier, we're gonna kind of come up with a plan to film some normal stuff soon, so that we're able to kind of put out more content. But we have some funny ideas, so we'll figure that shit out. In the meantime, we're gonna continue to do this. But I love you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for
You guys,
Yes.
being
good
here.
times.
All right, I'm gonna transition us out. Peace.